Foul sounds seeped from the girls' bathroom, but I walked away. Inside was Quinn, my childhood friend, drugged and feebly resisting the principal's son. In my past life, I intervened, a heroic act that doomed my family. Quinn shredded my uniform, scratched my neck, and a viral video branded me a trash ruled by his dick. The real culprit walked free. Quinn then pretended to love me, and I fell for it. Our decade-long marriage was hell. She drugged me, driving me to schizophrenia. On my deathbed, I learned the truth. She framed my father for tax evasion, landing him in prison. My mother died from the shock. Quinn appeared with her lover sneering, "If not for you, we'd have been together sooner." I died with regret. Then I reopened my eyes, back to that day in the hallway. The campus was quiet after school, so still I could hear the buzz of the cicadas. I let out a long breath, fighting to suppress the suffocating fear of my family's destruction. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Nathan holding out a bottle of water to Quinn.
Quinn.
The girl I'd known my whole life. That water was spiked, laced with a drug that would make her lose all control. In my last life, I exposed him right then and there. Quinn didn't believe me. She thought I was just jealous that Nathan was more popular than I was, that I was trying to start trouble. This time, I chose to be a cold observer. Quinn took the water, her eyes flicking towards me. "What's with that look? Are you going to police me for drinking a bottle of water?" "It's none of my business." I looked away. Seeing his chance, Nathan chimed in with a smirk. "Kale, you're a little overprotective of Quinn, don't you think? Anyone would think she's your girlfriend." A few other students were still in the classroom. They shot me strange looks. Quinn's face fell, her eyes filled with scorn. Who'd be his girlfriend? I'd never go for a boring nerd who only knows how to study. A tidal wave of hatred churned in my chest. I snapped my head up, meeting her gaze. "As if I'd ever be interested in you, Quinn." She froze, speechless, but her eyes were already welling with tears. Nathan seized the opportunity to mock me. "Still trying to act tough? Everyone here knows you're obsessed with her." I just said a few words to Quinn, and your face soured like that. "Pathetic. You look like a clown." His words ignited Quinn's fury. She always felt it was embarrassing to be associated with a bookworm like me. She shot me a venomous glare and, as if to spite me, chugged the entire bottle of water. I tightened my grip on my pen, a dark glint in my eyes, the corner of my mouth twitching into a smile. Last time, because of my interference, she only had a sip. But even that was enough to make her lose her mind, desperate for release. Now, she'd finished the whole bottle. A flicker of anticipation sparked within me. I even glanced at Nathan with something that could almost be described as approval. It takes a monster to deal with a monster. I noticed the triumphant gleam in Nathan's eyes. He put a hand on Quinn's shoulder. "Quinn, you don't look so good. Let me take you home." She agreed with a bashful blush. About 10 minutes later, Leo, the class president, burst into the classroom, his face flushed. I was the only one left. He was frantic, muttering, the bathroom, but couldn't get the words out. I played dumb. "Something wrong in the bathroom? It's not Quinn, is it?" Leo grabbed my arm, his hand shaking. "Yes, it's Quinn. And Nathan. Those two." My eyes were wide with innocent confusion, as if I knew nothing. There was a time I considered Leo my best friend. He was my desk mate for all 3 years of high school. We never ran out of things to talk about. But after everything went down in my last life, he was the first one to climb over my broken body. He told everyone I was the one with the twisted mind, that my unrequited love for Quinn drove me to drug her, hoping to force the situation. He even went live on social media right after I gave my statement to the police. During the stream, he fabricated a mountain of lies out of thin air. I'm heartbroken by this news. I sat next to him for 3 years, and I knew he had a crush on Quinn, but I never thought he would. Kale is a total creep. He follows girls home at night. I tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen. He even hits on young widows whose husbands just died. That live stream caused a massive uproar. I was publicly crucified. The school used it as an excuse to kick me out. Years later, at a class reunion, Leo was a successful man, holding a high-ranking position. Drunk, he boasted. "It's a good thing you screwed up back then. Otherwise, how would that full scholarship to Yale have ever gone to me?" The memory made my gaze on Leo turn ice cold. Last time I went, Leo told me to go in and stop them while he got help. But what he really did was hide, record everything, and call the police, watching with glee as I fell into his trap. Seeing my lack of urgency, Leo grew desperate. It's Quinn. Nathan dragged her into the bathroom. She was fighting back, he's forcing her. Are you so sure? Everyone knows they have a thing for each other. Maybe it's just a couple having some fun, I said with a half smile. It was no secret that Quinn and Nathan were close, just one step away from making it official. My words made Leo grab my wrist tighter.
No.
We're still in high school. They can't do that. Come on, we have to check on them. We have to stop them. The calculation in his eyes was barely concealed. He was dying for me to rush in there and seal my own doom so he could snatch that scholarship. I nodded and followed him downstairs. On the way, I took out my phone and quietly sent a pre-written text. The recipients were a few local influencers who happened to be live streaming nearby. This time, I was going to blow this thing wide open. Nathan was the principal's only precious son. I still remembered the look of disgust on the principal's face when he expelled me in my last life. I've always been a helpful person. I wanted our dear principal to witness his son's prowess firsthand. The closer we got to the bathroom, the clearer the lewd sounds from within became. It was utterly filthy. Do you like it, Quinn? Nathan's panting voice drifted out. I like it. Quinn's voice was devoid of reason, driven purely by instinctual desire. Leo's eyes darted around. He lowered his voice. Kale, it sounds like she's not in her right mind. You go in and stall them. I'll get help. I smirked. The exact same words as last time. I feigned reluctance. I don't know, it's the girls' bathroom. If I just barge in, what if it's a misunderstanding? Are you kidding me? Leo glared, his eyes practically bugging out. He grabbed my shoulders and shook me, feigning exasperation. Can you stop being such a coward? Any later, and it'll be too late. Are you just going to stand by and watch her get ruined by him? The bathroom door was slightly ajar. Through the crack, I could see the scene unfolding inside. Quinn's clothes were torn and disheveled, pulled down to her waist. She was clinging to Nathan like a boneless heap of mud. Nathan's eyes were filled with lust as he slammed her against the wall. He still had the gall to ask, "Are you sure you want this?" "Don't regret it, Quinn." "Give it to me. Give it to me now." Quinn sounded like the world's most shameless prostitute, begging for it. Nathan pretended to be helpless, but his eyes were gleaming with triumph. I answered meekly, "All right then. You go get a teacher quickly. I'll try to keep things under control." As I was about to push the door open, I turned back to remind him, "You have to hurry." Leo nodded vigorously and took off running. After he left, I dropped my hand from the door. I knew he hadn't gone far. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, Leo's sneaky figure reappeared. He had circled back. I watched from the shadows as he took out his phone and slipped it through the crack in the door. The two inside grew bolder, completely lost to the world. Having done his part, Leo left satisfied. Before long, he returned, leading a large crowd towards the building. The noises from inside hadn't subsided. Leo covered his mouth, feigning shock and helplessness as he stopped the principal. "Principal, I don't know how this could have happened, but as class president, I couldn't just ignore it." The principal was practically fuming. He didn't know his own son was the male lead in this drama. Leo had been deliberately vague. I knew that, in Leo's perfect world, both Nathan and I would be ruined. We were his main competitors. Normally, the principal would have sent security in to drag them out. But today, of all days, officials from the district were on campus for an inspection, and they hadn't left yet. So a group of administrators ended up coming along to catch them in the act. The scene was, to put it mildly, spectacular. The principal's chest heaved with rage. His promotion was likely going up in smoke. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got, wanting to storm in and tear the degenerates inside to pieces. Just as he was about to move, Leo feebly tried to stop him. "Don't go. Inside, that person is. I don't care who it is. No one is walking away from this today," the principal roared. Leo gave up, a look of disappointment on his face. "It's Kale." I tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. The principal knew me, of course. I was first in my class every single exam, the school's best hope for Yale. His eyes went wide, spittle flying from his mouth. That fast. He swallowed the word. With the district officials present, he had to maintain some decorum. The noises from inside continued, getting even more intense. Leo covered his face and pretended to cry. "Kale, how could you? I know you have a sex addiction, but you can't just..." His words made the faces in the crowd turn even darker. The officials exchanged glances and sighed. Just then, I emerged from the back of the crowd, a confused look on my face. Me? What did I do? Kale, what are you doing here? Leo looked like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, every hair on his body standing on end. The principal looked me up and down, his expression thoughtful. It's not you? Then who is in there? I don't know. I didn't see. I shrugged, my face a mask of innocence. Of course, I wasn't going to reveal the truth just yet. At that moment, the influencers who had received my text slipped through a gap in the school fence. Well, I thought it was a prank, but it looks like some real action is going down in broad daylight. You folks must be the teachers, right? Why don't you give our viewers a little show? Hey, you there, teacher, tell us. What's going on with your students? Is the tap water in this school spiked with Viagra or something? I hid in the crowd, trying to stifle a laugh. The water was spiked. The principal's face was as black as soot. He turned away in disgust. Leo stared daggers at me. He rushed over, grabbed my arm, and hissed, "Why didn't you go in?" Huh? I was scared. It's too X-rated in there. I'm a good student, you know. My words made Leo so angry he raised his fist to punch me. But the influencer's camera swung our way at that exact moment. Leo reluctantly lowered his hand, his eyes filled with venom. The streamer cheerfully panned his camera around. The chat was flying. Bro, this is wild. You can tell from the sounds alone how shameless they are. Streamer, rush in there. We're all ready for it. The streamer looked tempted, but then said apologetically, I can't do that, guys. My channel would get banned instantly. The district officials looked extremely uncomfortable. One of them cleared his throat. Lynn, we can't all just stand here. You should go in and assess the situation. The principal, Mr. Lin, nodded through gritted teeth. His face was a grim shade of purple as he rolled up his sleeves, ready to charge. As he took a step, I rushed forward to block him. Principal, don't go. The student inside has a special identity. If this gets any bigger, it will be embarrassing for everyone. My words were loaded. The influencers perked up. Ooh, what's this? Is it one of a school administrator's kids? Talk about abusing power. This made the officials even angrier. One or two of them had already turned and left in a huff. My prodding had put the principal in an impossible position. He shoved me aside angrily. Get out of my way. I don't care who it is today, I'm dealing with it. Leo took the opportunity to sidle up. Kale, just let him go. Are you saying you knew what was happening all along? He was trying to drag me down with them. I didn't rush to defend myself. Leo, I just think it's a shame. We're all classmates. If this gets out, their lives will be ruined. The tone in the live stream chat began to shift. This kid seems pretty decent. Hey, stop blocking. Students like that aren't worth protecting. Doesn't that class president guy sound a little sketchy? The district officials exchanged glances and sighed. It wouldn't look good for a group of them to barge in on camera. If the students inside did something drastic because of the publicity, no one wanted to take responsibility for that. So we all stood there, in a tense stalemate. The sounds from the bathroom continued intermittently. The influencers were stopped from getting any closer. This adulterous drama went on for nearly 2 hours. Finally, the bathroom door creaked open from the inside. The first person to walk out was a burly man in a construction worker's uniform. He froze when he saw the crowd. Then he spat on the ground. What are you looking at? Never seen a man take a piss before. The principal and the other officials visibly relaxed. As long as it wasn't a student, the situation was salvageable. But in the next second, someone gasped. Holy crap, the scene inside is insane. Everyone rushed forward. The scene, captured by the cameras, left everyone speechless. Nathan and Quinn were tangled together, naked, their bodies slick with questionable fluids. Several other men in work uniforms were standing around them, pulling on their clothes. I recognized a few of them as construction workers from the school's new building site. This girl looks so innocent, but damn, she's a wildcat. Yeah, she really knows how to work it. Took care of all of us. The workers leisurely finished dressing, passed through the stunned crowd without a hint of shame, and swaggered away. Quinn, however, seemed to be in a daze, still muttering, More, I want more. The drug was hitting much harder than last time. The influencers pushed their way in, clicking their tongues. Wow, these kids are wild. Group activities and everything. The commotion finally seemed to startle Nathan. He shoved Quinn away, frantically trying to cover his face while pulling on his clothes. The principal's expression was beyond furious. He was shaking, pointing at the two on the floor. barely able to breathe. You two animals. You're a disgrace. He clearly hadn't considered his own son. Nathan was terrified, desperately trying to get dressed. Quinn was still in a stupor, crawling towards him, panting, "Nathan." He recoiled as if she were filth and kicked her away. The adoration he usually had in his eyes was replaced with pure disgust. I stood in the crowd, my face a perfect mask of shock and heartbreak. The principal was screaming at them now, his language growing increasingly vulgar. Nathan huddled in a corner, hiding his face with his clothes. Quinn, still under the drug's influence, was laying on the floor, groaning in pain as the principal's kicks rained down on her. Leo stood to the side, his expression complex as he watched me. He couldn't understand how things had gone so wrong. The district officials, red-faced and sighing, had a quiet word with the principal and then quickly departed. Once they were gone, the principal lost all control. He charged at Quinn and Nathan, kicking them relentlessly. "You shameless dogs. I'll kill you today." Nathan yelped and scrambled away, trying not to make too much noise for fear of being recognized. Quinn could only take the beating, whimpering on the floor. The principal's rage was boundless. He grabbed Nathan by the hair and slammed his head against the wall. "You little bastard. Is this how your parents raised you?
Huh?
Doing something so disgusting at your age." As if to vent his fury and expose this animal to the world, the principal ripped the clothes away from Nathan's head. When the red, shame-filled face was revealed to everyone, the crowd fell silent. A security guard whispered, "Isn't it the principal's son, Nathan?" The principal froze, finally recognizing the person in front of him. His face went from red to white, finally settling on a deathly gray. "And Nathan." His voice trembled. He couldn't believe it was his son. Nathan, shaking, whimpered, "Dad." That one word shattered the last thread of the principal's sanity. He staggered backward, slamming into the doorframe with a loud thud. I stood hidden in the crowd, coldly enjoying the show. Leo's expression was just as grim as the principal's. His dark eyes were fixed on me. He couldn't understand why I hadn't gone in. He had been the one to help Nathan get the drug. He knew better than anyone how potent it was. If I had rushed into the bathroom, I would have been dragged down, too. Then he could have presented his video, and all three of us, me, Quinn, and Nathan, would have been finished. But he never counted on me staying out. And he certainly never expected the construction workers. The situation had spiraled completely out of his control. Quinn seemed to be coming to her senses, but the drug was still coursing through her veins. "Water. I need water. It hurts so much." She instinctively tried to move closer to Nathan again, but he shoved her away like she was something vile. "Get off me. You're disgusting." The push seemed to clear her head a little. She screamed, "You think I'm disgusting? You seem to be enjoying yourself just fine a minute ago." "Not as much as you," Nathan sneered. "You had those workers wrapped around your little finger." "Shut up," Quinn shrieked, as if struck by a horrifying memory. They started tearing into each other like rabid dogs, spewing out all the sordid details of what had just happened, using them as weapons. The influencers and their online audience were eating it up. Just then Leo suddenly pointed at me. "Kale, even if you couldn't have Quinn, you didn't have to get revenge on her like this." His accusation immediately drew everyone's attention to me. The principal, seeing a lifeline, lunged at me. "It was you. You set this whole thing up, didn't you?" Nathan quickly chimed in. "That's right. It must have been him. He was jealous that Quinn liked me, so he framed us." Quinn, still confused, joined the chorus. "Kale, if this was you, I'll never forgive you." One by one, they slung mud in my direction. The influencers' cameras all turned on me. I looked at their ugly, contorted faces and started to laugh. When you're falsely accused, the last thing you should do is rush to prove your innocence. The best strategy is to make the water even murkier. Under the crowd's scrutiny, I walked up to Leo. "Leo, we're friends. I appreciate you trying to stand up for me, but you shouldn't have brought all these people to hurt a helpless girl like Quinn." My voice was calm, but it carried an icy chill. Leo froze. The others were confused. I continued. "I know you can't stand seeing Nathan bully people, and you hate that he stole Quinn from you. I get it. But hiring construction workers." Nathan's head snapped towards Leo. "It was you." Only Leo knew he had drugged Quinn. Leo was supposed to be his lookout, but now all these people were here. The suspicion in Nathan's eyes hardened. Leo shook his head frantically. No, I didn't. I was trying to get him to." He stopped mid-sentence, realizing he'd said too much, and clamped a hand over his mouth. The principal finally regained some of his composure. He looked from Leo to me, his expression unreadable. He said nothing more, just grimly ordered security to get rid of the influencers. The farce was finally over. Quinn was rushed to the hospital that day. I heard the dose of the drug was too high, and combined with the multiple partners, her body had suffered severe damage. Nathan wasn't in much better shape. His father took him home and locked him up. The bathroom scandal spread across the internet like wildfire, thanks to the influencers. In my last life, the principal had managed to suppress the story completely. Did you see the live stream? Students at that high school are having orgies in broad daylight. The guy is the principal's son. So messed up. That girl looked so innocent, but she's